you got your training, you started wrestling. Who were like some of the opponents that you look back on that you enjoyed working with, being in the ring with?
My favorite opponents, Sumi Sakai, Mercedes Martinez, La Rosa Negra, Mickey Knuckles, Cindy Rogers, Annie Social, who ended up being my tag partner, is my best friend. Gabby Gilbert. I mean, off the top of my head, those are the ones that stick. Jana, girl wrestled in New Jersey. She was trained by IWF, named Jana. Was one of
Okay.
my favorite. She was one of the people I didn't. Oh, and Casey Carlisle. Jana and Casey Carlisle ended up being the two girls that I didn't have to talk to in the back if we had to wrestle. We were like, what match are we? How much time do we have? Who's winning? Great. And we would just see each other out there.
So you retired from wrestling, and as you've talked about, you started coaching. What led you to start thinking about, gee, I want to teach people, and give back and train the next generation?
I didn't. So I had my scheduled last match November 2019. And I was done. I walked away. I didn't want to coach. I was good. I liked my weekends back. Sitting around on my couch, beginning of 2020 hits, COVID rolls in.
Mm-hmm.
So does speaking out.
Mm-hmm.
And I had met Danny Cage one time, I think, at that point, maybe twice. But when you're in wrestling long enough, everybody knows everybody, whether you've met them or not. But we were friends on Twitter, and he hit me up and sent me a DM and said, "Hey girl, what's your phone number? I'm gonna call you and I need to talk to you about something." So I gave it to him. And he called me and he said, "Hey, have you ever given any thought to coaching?" And I said, "No." And he's like, "Hey, yeah, so Ricky Reyes is gonna come on and coach with me. And I was hoping you would consider coming on too." And I said, "Oh," I said, I've trained with Ricky Reyes. I've gone to some of his training classes. Ricky Reyes has an amazing ability to break down every maneuver to the smallest shift of your foot. I said, "I'm no good at that." You know what I'm saying? I said, "If you teach him, I can clean it up, but I'm no good at breaking stuff down." And he goes, "No, it's fine." He goes, "We all bring something different to the table." And he goes, "Think about it." And I thought about it, and I talked to some friends, and I said, "All right, I'll give it a try." And it's now 2023, and I coach once a week. So
That's good.
And I hear Gabby Ortiz actually put the bug in his ear that was like, "Hey, because this was when people were talking about how there weren't enough women in power positions in wrestling." And Gabby Ortiz went to Danny and was like, "Hey, have you ever thought of, bringing Missy on as a coach?" And Danny's like, "I've been thinking about it." And then when we announced that I was coaching there, I got a message from Kevin Kelly who goes, "Oh my God, he beat me to it. I was going to tell Danny that he should ask you to coach there." So,
it's great because you have that balance. You have, the male perspective, but also you have the female perspective. And, it's good to have a mix of everybody around, so how, women's wrestling can work, and different techniques can be shared with someone that you can relate to. And you've had just an amazing career.